Choosing the worst Mario Party on every console can be both controversial and at times a hard task. Some consoles have lots of installments, and generally, the Mario Party series is quite strong, having a lot of solid games. When it comes to the 3DS, I have the opposite problem. Choosing from 3 weak games and declaring the worst one. All 3 games strayed away from the typical Mario Party formula. I don't dislike these games because they're different. I dislike them because some elements in the games make them unenjoyable, or in other words, most of them are bad. In fact, I don't actually mind Star Rush, it's more so the other 2 I have an issue with. And as much as I want to talk badly about Island Tour, I can't ignore the fact that Mario Party The Top 100 is the worst game, in my opinion. Mario Party The Top 100 is a collection of minigames from Mario Party 1 to 10. That's right, they skipped all the handheld consoles, cause apparently none of the top 100 minigames came from any of those ones. The minigames are clearly the main focus of the game, hence the title, so let's look at the selection of games. How they declared the best 100? I'm not too sure. There would never be one definitive list that everyone could agree on, but I think the list is pretty solid. I looked at the games quickly and only thought about 20 of them didn't deserve a spot. Some of the games probably wouldn't make my list, but I think the majority of them are fun. There are some classics, Pushy Penguins, Leaf Leap, Trace Race, but then there are some I wouldn't include, like Rockin' Raceway, Piranha Pursuit. But if I agree that the minigame collection is pretty solid, and that's the main attraction of the game, then why would I declare this as the worst one on the 3DS? Well, the minigames are fun, but there isn't too much more going on for the game. Once you boot up the game, the menu has a few different options. The top largest panel suggesting that it is important is the 100 minigames. This acts as a free play. You can sort the minigames by game, genre, favorites, and battle type. Hold up, why is the main attraction of the game free play? Typically, to play free play, there's a minigame section that you select, and from there is a free play option. Therefore, already demonstrating the lack of content this game has. In this section, you just play the minigames. This is a classic mode, but once you play them a few times, there isn't that much replayability. Testing out all 100 minigames can take a bit, but that is if you have all of them unlocked. However, once you play through them, and then your favorites a few more times, there isn't too much more to do in this mode. Really, how many times can you play flash forwards? One issue with the minigames is that certain games used to have different variations, such as Slot Car Derby having different tracks like it did in Mario Party 2, but there is now only one in the top 100. This isn't a huge game changer, but makes for less variety in the game. When the mode is lacking content, removing little things to make it more replayable is a mistake. So while this is a staple mode, it's typically a side mode in other installments, and for a good reason. The next mode is Minigame Island, a single player mode where you unlock the rest of the minigames. This is another big tab, and it's next in order, so maybe this is the main mode of the game, right? Is this where all the boards are? Minigame Island is similar to Challenge Road in Super Mario Party. Essentially, you walk up to the different spaces and play the computers in the different minigames. If you win, you get 3 mini stars. You just know it's a good Mario Party when there's mini stars involved. 2 mini stars for second and 1 for third. Getting first place also wins you 10 coins, and 100 coins gets you a life. If you lose a life, but you can still continue on, unless it's a duel. This mode is alright, but it doesn't take too long to beat, except for Goomba Bowling. Why am I so bad at this game? Ah! No, okay. That looked promising, right? This makes me feel good about myself. And if you do, I don't know why you'd play it again. And it's annoying that this is how you unlock some of the minigames. Not everyone loves the single player Mario Party, although I doubt at this point you'd be playing this game with friends, or even at all. Next, we've got Minigame Match. We did finally make it to the board section of the game. Just by clicking onto it, you know it's going to be a fun game when it describes the board, implying that there is only one, and using the adjective simple for it. Well, it wasn't lying. There's only in fact one board, and I would agree, it is simple. I think that the most misleading part of the statement is that it suggests that you get to play minigames in it. Because while it isn't false, it's a rare occurrence. You see, they brought back a similar board style to Star Rush. You move in a grid style all at the same time, but after every turn, you do not play a minigame, like in the traditional Mario Party games. You need to get a coin balloon to play a minigame, but they don't appear every round. This game is supposed to be a celebration of all the best Mario Party, and to do so, they brought back some weird board style from Star Rush, and managed to make it worse. They could have brought back some of the best boards in the series, but I guess that would make too much sense. Not only that, you would think to play the minigames, the whole purpose of this game, they would bring a mode that actually has you playing them each turn. If I wanted to play a grid-styled game, I'd play Star Rush, which has a variety of boards. And then they made the confusing choice to eliminate playing these games when there was a chance to. You can challenge someone with the dueling glove, but you don't play any of the top 100 minigames. Why would they get the chance to play those duels? Here, pick a rope instead. This mode is just confusing. You hardly play any of the minigames. There's one untraditional board that hardly showcases them. I don't understand the point here. This should have been the main mode, but there's such little content that even if you do consider it the main mode, it needed to have more. Then there's championship battles, where you play either 3 or 5 minigames, and the person who wins the most is the winner. You get to pick which pack of games you want to play, but that's about all. There's nothing interesting about this mode. I can do the exact same thing in free play and skip some cutscenes. Sometimes there's minigame modes that are actually fun and involve some strategy. In Rocket Rascals and Mario Party DS, you win a minigame, you get a piece to the bridge, and you have to create a path to the center. You can benefit yourself, screw others over, and you have an actual incentive to win, rather than just winning the games to win. I think Championships Battles is just boring. Once again, there isn't much replayability to it. And the last mode, Decathlon, where you compete for the most points in either 5 or 10 minigames. This one is a little more interesting. Your score, or the time you finish, is converted into points. Therefore, your performance matters more than just the ranking. So if you get first, you want to win by a lot to get a bigger lead. And if you lose, you still want to do well to not fall too far behind. While this concept is interesting, there's always a catch in this game. Since not all the minigames could work for this mode, it's the same minigames every time. There are 5 for the half decathlon, and 10 for the full thing. So really, playing them a few times is enough to get the gist of it, because repeating the same games over and over gets repetitive. Some people don't see the need for Mario Party Superstars. This game is a collection of boards from Mario Party 1 to 3, and they brought back minigames from throughout the series. They suggest that this game is unoriginal since it didn't create anything new, just a collection of old stuff. And if the old things exist already, then what is the purpose? This is a simplification of their arguments, and while I personally enjoy this game and don't necessarily agree with all of these points, I do understand them and can see the arguments. But if that is the case, then there is really no need for the top 100. Just about everything that the top 100 tried to be, Superstars did it better. The point I am trying to make from this is that Mario Party the Top 100 could have been a fleshed out game like Superstars, but instead, it's just a lesser version of it. There's only one board in the game, as if that was a good idea. It is lacking content, and the stuff that it does have isn't very replayable. The minigame selection is great, and there are a lot of them, but Mario Party needs a good balance of boards and minigames. Like in Super Mario Party, there are a lot of good minigames, but only 4 boards, which aren't very good, therefore also making it a bad game. No, this isn't a plug to my video, but I did bash that one too if you want to check it out. There is a reason that the minigame section is always a side mode, rather than the main one. The game without minigames wouldn't be fun, just as a game without boards, or just one board, isn't fun either. Therefore, making the top 100 the worst Mario Party on the 3DS.